A tribute to Gene. Hakuna Matata. Hakuna Matata. For those of you who don't know what that means, it means no worries. It's from The Lion King. My best friend Gene Cumry always tells me that. He's one of the best people I think I've met throughout my entire life. He's the kind of person that will be there for you when you needed help. For this speech, I tried to Google and search for many adjectives to find words to describe him. I narrowed it down to 3. He's compassionate, helpful, and patient. I wish I could say that Gene has always been my friend. However, that's not the case. I met Gene back in 2005. He was the kid that used to always hang out with my brother. I wanted him to be my friend more than I wanted a brownie before dinner. Unfortunately, he didn't feel the same about me. In fact, he used to tell my older brother to keep me away from him. To him, I was some weird elementary school student that needed to find some toys to play with. I know he doesn't sound very compassionate, but throughout the years, we have become best friends. Compassion means to have concern for another person. Gene has had more compassion for me than I've had for myself in the past couple of years. We became close when I started to date one of his friends. I wish I could say that this love story ended like The Lion King, happy, but it didn't end in court. His friend would treat the dirt on the bottom of his shoe better than he would treat me. At the time, I was completely caught up in being with his friend. I did not even acknowledge my self-worth. Thankfully, I had Gene as a friend. Gene had enough concern, compassion for others that he used to help me through all my problems. Many of you don't know me, but one thing that you should know about me, it takes a lot of patience to be my friend. Gene listened to my trial and tribulations for hours. It doesn't matter if it's 2 o'clock in the afternoon or 2 o'clock in the morning. If I call him, he will show up at my door and walk from wherever he's at to my house just so he could be there for me. Never had a friend do that before. Gene's action, compassion, and patience has taught me to value myself, friendship, and most importantly, the meaning of Hakuna Matata, living with no worries. Through all of the hours spent listening, motivating, and being there for me, I would consider Gene to be a very helpful person. He's the kind of person that I wish I could be like. He's always there for people, whether if it's lending his mom a hand, picking up a friend, or being a shoulder to cry on. He's completely compassionate towards anyone, even strangers. I remember one time Gene was walking through his neighborhood by himself, and he saw a man beating on his girlfriend. Gene ran over to the man and pushed him off the girl. He basically told the guy that he was not a man and informed him how he should treat a girl. Like the random girl, I was in a similar situation. His friend used to always try to put me down and tell me that I'm less than what I really was. One night, I was hanging out with Gene when my ex called me to come over, and basically, I got set up. Long story short is, Gene was in the right place at a bad time. If it wasn't for Gene and his compassion, patience, and helpfulness, I would probably not be on this earth right now. I can never repay him for saving me from myself, but I can pay forward his actions to someone else who was like me. When I grow up, I wish I could be like Gene. I wish I could touch someone's life the way he's touched mine. He's like one of the best people I've ever met, and I hope you guys learned something from him.